This is the Outer Rim Podcast. We cover all Star Wars news, shows, and rumors. We are covering the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, episode 3. We did the first 2 on Monday night, back-to-back, episodes 1 and 2. Episode 3, if you have not watched episodes 1, 2, or 3, or anything of this, spoiler alert, we are going to be going over the breakdown and whatnot of the entire episode. So if you don't want to be ruined in any way, shape, or form, don't watch. But at the same time, don't watch the show anyway, because you're going to be disappointed if you are a super fan for Star Wars. Okay. If you like us in any way, shape, or form, you can hit that like, share, or subscribe button. If you're watching this after the fact, I do appreciate you. It is a long segment type of thing. It's like 40 minutes long. We cover all through. Have a conversation live Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the remainder of the series. God, it's like torture. But that's what we're doing. We're doing it. Okay. So let's start off, shall we? I see some of you said definitely had its flaws, D-Money says, but it was good. And I have to say, I'm going to break some stuff down here, D-Money, and you might reconsider. Okay. How's it going, everyone? I appreciate everyone showing up. All right. So Obi-Wan Kenobi starts off with Obi-Wan. He's meditating, right? And I'm like, all right. Maybe I should call him Obi-Beta Kenobi. Obi-Beta Kenobi starts to meditate. I should meditate a little bit because this is going to be rough. There's good moments, but not many. So he's meditating. He's trying to get to Qui-Gon. Okay. As he's meditating, they have this little moment here where all of a sudden he's reaching out to Qui-Gon, but then he finds Darth Vader. Now, I don't know if they're attached or talking to each other, but what happened here, and I want to kind of show you this. Okay. So let me find the clip real fast just to show you what type of continuity we have going on here, okay? What type of continuity we have going on here. So, they show Darth Vader being built, okay? And mind you, they have a scene where they show this scene right here where they're putting his arms on. This is the first picture of him getting his arm put on. Now, I know you're going to think I'm nitpicking here. But this is how sloppy the editing has been, and it's all over the place in this episode. From a technical standpoint, the editing in this and the shooting of this is absolutely garbage for this episode. So let me take that one down for a second. And as he puts on his arm, then he puts on the legs, right? He puts on the legs, all right? Cool. And then it goes back to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then he puts on the chest piece, right? The back of the chest piece, cool. All right, but if you notice, let me get a better shot. All right, hold on. If you notice, the first one was the arm, the second one was the legs, the third one was the chest. What do you guys notice in this segment here? What do you guys notice here? You guys notice anything different? The legs went on, or the arm went on, the legs went on, and then the bodysuit went on. What's missing in this picture? One of these things is not like the other. Yeah, he's missing his arms. Right? I don't know how the editor missed this, but of course, a lot of people probably didn't notice this. I am just nitpicking. So he's missing his arms. That's correct. Okay. So, hey, that's the first thing I noticed. I was like, oh, well, he's just missing his arms. That's out of key. Then they go back and he's still, back and forth. The editing of this is absolutely terrible. We see Darth Vader put his helmet on. Okay. And Anakin Skywalker is alive. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Then there's this right here is the pinnacle picture of Beta Kenobi. This episode is 100% a a tutorial on how to deconstruct a character that is beloved by many, okay, and how to deconstruct him to an absolute beta male in 44 minutes or less. That's what this episode's about. And we will continue as we go here. Okay, so Obi-Wan Kenobi, I actually wrote down notes in my phone for this. Oh, great. Okay, so Darth Vader and him are going back and forth. He breathes heavy, and then we start the show. Now, obviously, this is what's happening right now, right? People that are like super excited, like, oh yeah, we get to watch Darth Vader. Darth Vader's badass. Oh, this is so good. Oh my God, what a great series. What a great series. I waited 20 years to see Vader again. Oh, so exciting. Okay. So let's just continue from last week where all of a sudden Obi-Wan's on this ship and he has no control of the ship. He's got no control of his life. He's spiraling out of control. He's depressed. All he was supposed to do was stay in shape, stay out of sight, keep his head down, and protect Luke Skywalker. And let's see what he's doing right now. He's not keeping his head down. He's not on planet keeping Luke safe. He's protecting Princess Leia, which he's not protecting Princess Leia, and we'll go over that later in the show as well. Okay, we get this scene where Darth Vader walks off. He looks cool. I have to admit, Darth Vader's cool. It's got my memory berries happening, right? All over the place. Then they show the Mustafar, and you see this. You see the beautiful Mustafar here. Okay, the beautiful Mustafar. And they cut in, and then all of a sudden we see a scene with Reva and Darth Vader. Darth Vader is talking to Reva. Now, I have a question here. In hierarchy order, it's Grand Inquisitor, and then the second sister, but obviously the second sister's dead, or it's running around the same time as this right now. So maybe she's not dead yet from Jedi Fallen Order. And then we have the fifth brother and the third sister. Well, she's the third sister. Okay. And yet, Reva, who Darth Vader doesn't, let's be honest, doesn't give two shits about. Doesn't give a shit about the fourth sister, the fifth sister, the sixth sister. He doesn't care about brother 1, 2, 3. He doesn't give a shit. He says it right here when he's talking to Reva and says, Reva says to him that the probes are out and we're tracking him and he will pay for the Grand Inquisitor. Okay. And the next line's out of Darth Vader, because he doesn't care. The Inquisitors to him are just garbage. He doesn't care. They're just lackeys. Okay. He says the Grand Inquisitor means nothing to me. Okay. But yet Reva means everything to him. And the very next line, when he says, if you, okay, Kenobi is all that matters now. Is that understood? He doesn't give two shits about you. She says, yes, my lord. Okay. And then he says, I've been watching you, third sister. If you do what I ask and you seek, then you will be Grand Inquisitor. Isn't that really comforting, knowing that he didn't give a shit about the Grand Inquisitor, and then he's offering you the job of Grand Inquisitor? Man, I can't wait to move on up in this company. Okay, it's fantastic. Okay, it says, prove yourself, and the position of Grand Inquisitor is yours. And I'm like, oh boy. Well, we know that's not true because of Rebels. But at the same time, they retcon stuff. So last week we talked about, or 2 days ago we talked about, I don't think the Grand Inquisitor is dead. But in this episode, they pretty much say that he's dead. He might come back. I still think he comes back because Disney and Star Wars and Lucasfilm can't be this stupid to make the Grand Inquisitor a leading character in one of their canon animations of Rebels, and then yet kill him in this series and not make him come back. They would be complete and utter idiots if they did this. But we'll see what happens here, okay? So Reva and Darth Vader are still talking, and then he walks off and says, whatever. Then we go back to Obi-Beta Kenobi. Obi-Beta Kenobi is fixing Leia's robot, hands it back to her, and she says, are we almost there? He says, I'm not in control of this ship. Just like he's not in control of anything in his life right now. Okay. So that's what's happening. Okay. What's up, Wolverine? All right. So he says, "Can't you use the Force?" Or she says, "Can't you use the Force or something?" And he's like, "It doesn't work like that." And this got me really upset. Okay, this got me really upset. She asks, "How does the Force work?" Okay, and thank God he didn't go into the midichlorians. Okay, thank God he didn't go into the midichlorians. But I didn't think it could get worse. I didn't think it could get any worse. Right? How does it work? Okay. He says, "What?" She says, "The Force. What does it feel like?" And then he says, Let me think, right? Let me make up something for this kid. Okay. Have you ever been afraid of the dark? Have you ever been afraid of the dark? Yeah. Which is weird because Leia was kidnapped in a dark place with strangers that could kill her. And she said, "I'm not afraid of you," but she was afraid of the dark. Should have done their research. Anyway, how does it feel? Well, you know how it feels when you turn the light on? And she's like, yeah, I know how it feels. Yeah, I feel safe. That's how the Force feels. It feels safe. Well, my next question out of my mouth is, if the Force feels safe, how come you haven't been training so when you had to use the lights again, that you would be okay? Because the time will have to come where you train Luke, right? The time will come where you have to train Luke. But we already seen those. We already know what happens in episodes 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So the Force feels like the light turning on. This is what it feels like. It feels like the lights are on, and the Force is like that. It feels like that. Okay? So he hands back the toy that you can buy in stores at Target and Toys R Us and all your local toy stores, Lola, and fixes her. Okay? And as Lola beeps, she's so excited and she's so happy. And I have to say, Leia did a better job. The actress did a better job acting in this episode, but the character is still, knowing what she becomes to what she is now is bad. All right, well, we better get ready because we're on the approach, and it's landing on a planet. Okay, we're landing on a planet, and it lands on the planet, and I forget what the planet's called. It's like Morpa or something like that. I forget what the actual. Put it in the comment section or put it in the chat. I forget what the actual town calls. It doesn't fucking matter. Why should I give a shit what the place is called? Because they're just going to delete it later on anyway, because nothing really matters anymore in the story or canon in Star Wars anyway. So they're in this rocky desert planet. Now, I just want to make it clear that look how mountainy terrain is. Look at this. Look how rocky and mountainy this is. Okay? Like, they're on top of mountains. Mountains, I say. Okay? But we'll see. Okay? So they get out. They get out of the ship. They sneak by a robot who obviously can't sense them in any way, shape, or form. It's a droid that will play a big part later on. Okay? Which is just a loading droid, I think they said. Okay? So obviously it's the cheapest robot I've ever seen them ever create, because they said, you know what? We have a budget and we can't make other robots, so let's just put a guy in a suit and be done with it. And they said, okay. Okay? I call it California Krebs, he says. Okay? So they sneak away. And as they sneak away, they're walking, and instantaneously the whole thing changes. The whole thing changes. Okay? You can see these mountainous terrains behind them. Okay? Mountainous terrains. I mean, look at it. I mean, just mountains as far as the eyes can see. Big, really big areas. You're gonna need a ship. You're gonna need some sort of vehicle to get around this thing, right? They're looking around. They're seeing, okay, that they're walking. Now look at this. They're in the middle of the fucking desert. This is them right here, if you can't see them. Imperials are right here. No one's asking why there's just random people walking around in the middle of the desert mountains. Nobody's asking these questions. Okay, let's continue. Okay. They're all over the place as they walk away. Continuity doesn't matter. Real quick, if you notice the last shot, just to give you what continuity is, and they're aware of continuity. They're aware of like the script and supervising and stuff like that. Like back here, there's a city with smokestacks and stuff, like a factory back here, right? And it's behind them, and they're walking from right to left on the screen. Okay, So the next scene, when it cuts, okay, you can see that they're keeping consistency with this, right? They're coming over the mountain, right? They were probably over here or somewhere over here, and there's the factory in the background right there, and they're coming towards us. So we're still on the same side. The camera didn't break the 180 move, meaning where the 180, where the scene's on that side, we're on this side, and the camera can move anywhere on this side to this side all over the place, right? So they didn't break it yet, okay? Didn't break it. So as they're going through, they start to talk, and Obi-Wan's like, the coordinates said the meeting point is a little further north, okay? And it's our new friend told us. Well, how would you know if he lied? Well, why would he lie? She asks. He said, well, people lie, and he like snaps at Leia, and she's like, oh, okay, right? So then we see other stormtroopers and stuff in the background from another hill, okay? So as they're doing this, they're stopping. I believe they're even stopping other people over on the other side, okay? Then you can see other droids are just on random hills as they're looking. And if you notice real fast, you see how the camera is moving, meaning it's the POV of the characters as they're walking. So all the stuff is on their left side now, and so on and so forth. So it's actually, they're doing pretty well, right? He's even looking the right direction. It's fantastic, right? So they have bounties here. They have people that they're stopping, but they're not stopping them. They're just random stormtroopers patrolling the desert, and there's people out there, okay? They're still walking. She's asking questions. And then all of a sudden, he sees a vision. He sees a vision of Anakin Skywalker, okay? Anakin Skywalker, he sees him there, and he feels like he's hallucinating. Now, don't really understand why this is happening, why he would see a young Anakin Skywalker. He's feeling guilty, and because he really thinks he could save Anakin Skywalker, even though he's running and he's saving Leia right now, even though he left Luke Skywalker on his own, unprotected. What he said his whole life meaning was he's now protecting the sister of Luke Skywalker, and he's daydreaming of, we're on a strange planet. The only reason I'm here is because this kid didn't listen to me, and now we're on this other planet, and I see Anakin Skywalker, okay? So Anakin turned towards him. This is so Anakin, Hayden Christensen can get credit of seeing his face. That's basically what this is, I would assume, okay? So he sees Obi-Wan sees Anakin. Anakin just stares at him, and the music plays dramatically. And then all of a sudden, Leia says, "Ben," to break him out of the the trance that he's in. Well, then as they're walking, they're trying to figure out where this place is. And now all of a sudden, he gets, really worried that he can't find the place. It switches back to Reva now, flying into a base of operations. She walks in. She's walking past everybody, all the stormtroopers, all the Imperial troopers. She walks through this big, giant gun detector, I guess. I don't really know what this is, but walks through it. And then she walks in to this scene right here. And here she says, "I traced the manifest, and we should send out all remaining probes now." And then obviously the fifth brother says, "You don't rule here. I'm next in command." "Well, Lord Vader told me that this is what to do." And he's like, "You spoke to Lord Vader?" And she's like, "Yes, I spoke to Lord Vader." And he's like, ugh, and he growls and grins. And there's no emotion from this actor. From Mose Ingram, from Reva, there's no up or down. She speaks the same. And then they use a force ability on her. Not to hurt her in any way, just to kind of make her arms spread out and float her head above the counter. I think it would have been a lot more interesting if they let it slip and let her face slam on the counter, sort of like what they did in Black Widow. Okay? At least give her some sort of, make her angry for a reason, to give him some bad blood between them. Okay? Because we really don't understand why they don't like her. We're assuming they don't like her because she maybe came in maybe later on as an Inquisitor. Maybe she's moving up faster. Maybe they know she's a brown noser. Who knows why the other Inquisitors don't like her, right? She's number 3 on the list for the female side, where the other one's like 4 and 5. So it'd be interesting to understand why they hate 3, okay? We don't know, okay? He says, that seat is mine and not yours. Okay, so he hasn't got promoted yet, even though he's next in line. He's the 5th brother and the Grand Inquisitor, right? He says, I'm next in line. Okay, she grunts. She shows kind of the other sister kind of does absolutely nothing. And she says, I just spoke to Lord Vader. And he says, you spoke to Lord Vader himself? Yes. He asked me to lead the hunt. Okay, unless you feel I should follow orders instead, your orders instead. Right? Send out the probes now. Do it now. And they're like, right? I don't know if she's a double agent. Sean. You're giving the writers too much credit. I don't know if she's a double agent. I think she will turn, but I don't think she's a double agent. Maybe she is. Maybe she is a double agent. Okay? That'd be a really long play, wouldn't it? Because Inquisitors are tortured and whatnot to get to the point. And if she could break from being an Inquisitor, that means she's pretty powerful, I would assume, as a Jedi, which I think we already know, right? I think we already know. So from this scene, she then says under her breath, okay, the line that he actually says to her, it says, I will get what I deserve, third sister. Okay, is what he says to her. All right? And so will you. Is what he says to her. And then like a big man, okay, well, woman, she says, I hope so. She whispers it underneath her breath as he's walking out the door. Okay. And doesn't say it loud enough, right? I certainly hope so, she says underneath her breath, right? Then it cuts back to sending out the pods, and the pods land on the planet. And then Obi-Wan, he's at this site for, I don't know, 30 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. He's like, this is where we were supposed to be. And Leia's like, well, maybe they're late. They're like, no, they're not coming. He freaks out. And I'm like, okay. Now, I try to put myself in this position. What would you do, right? Well, one, I wouldn't look like a Jedi. Two, I would probably get as low as possible waiting for it and wait just a couple of minutes just in case someone came by, right? What's going on, Melrose? Right? Just in case someone came by. Nope. He freaks out and says, maybe it was a lie. I knew it. I shouldn't have trusted him. And just freaks out, starts to get upset. And he says, we don't know if maybe no one's coming, Leia. Right? He just freaks out. Meanwhile, the 10-year-old is like, chill out, Ben. Okay? We need to figure it out. Well, why don't we get some help? He says, look, don't say anything, don't talk, don't do anything. I'll do all the talking. You just shut up, basically. Right after that, she's running down the hill, waving her hands, okay? And yet he's going along with it. The adult that's supposed to be saving Leia is doing absolutely nothing as an adult, and the 10-year-old is taking charge. Beautiful. Obi-Beta Kenobi, okay? Letting Princess Leia, and that's to show the strength of Princess Leia, right? Not the weakness of Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm assuming. Okay. So runs towards this vehicle, and as the vehicle's there, I think the guy's name is Frick, or Freck, or whatever his name is, okay? And they make up a story. Hi, I'm Luma. This is my father, okay? We are farmers from Twal, okay? And he's like, oh, hey there, Frick. That's his name, Frick. Okay? Aren't you going to say hello, father? Right? And then all of a sudden he's like, hello. I thought they missed an opportunity here. He could have been like, hello there. You know what I mean? Type of thing. Right? I think they missed an opportunity there. But anyway, so Princess Leia does all the talking. He doesn't do any of the talking. He's dead silent. He's a mute. Okay? So even Freck says, that's a weird story. He says, we got a bit turned around, like a farm in the middle of a fucking mountainy desert. A farm. What kind of stuff are you growing out in this farm? Okay. Right? Anyway, I digress. So they get into the actual vehicle. He starts to drive them. And on an Imperial planet run by Imperials, they're shocked when there's an Imperial flag on the back of the vehicle. Imagine that. I can't believe there's an Imperial flag on the vehicle. And it drives away, and we know there's going to be problems. Okay? So now we're on cliff sides, mountain sides, and they're driving down. They're sitting there. They're having a little conversation in the back. Okay? Freck is still trying to have, conversation with them. He's chatting them up, right? It's good to listen to Empire, right? They're all talking. He's like, yep, absolutely. We love the Empire. Okay, as they go. And then all of a sudden, there's a group of stormtroopers that are out and about. They stop. They get in. Okay. There's 4 stormtroopers, and then they start to have a conversation here. Okay. They have Freck knows them, picks them up all the times, making chatter with them. 4 stormtroopers get in the vehicle with a wanted Jedi that's known to all empires around the galaxy, and these buffoons can't identify him. Okay? They don't know anything. They're just like, yep, everything's good here. Right? Then they start talking. We're looking for a Jedi. Have you seen a Jedi? We're looking for a Jedi. He looks like you. Have we? Right? Get this. They know they're looking for a Jedi. Do they know what a Jedi looks like? Or do they have a picture of the actual Jedi? I'm assuming they have the picture of the actual Jedi, considering we saw it last fucking episode. Okay? So, these stormtroopers couldn't find the person. Okay? I thought for sure Obi-Wan was going to try to do some trick in the vehicle, right? Like, just little side thing, like, this is not the Jedi you're looking for, or something, anything, right? You're already on the run. They already know where you are. It's not like if you use the Force, they're going to know where you are faster, okay? But nope, they missed the opportunity for that as well. And he doesn't have his face covered. His face is wide open. These guys get in the thing. They have a conversation for maybe 2 minutes. Maybe. Having a conversation. And the conversation is, what are you doing out here? Well, we're farmers. And then he gets mad at Leia, calls her Leia. They said, I thought her name was Luma. And they're like, well, her mom's name was Luma or Leia, and we're just really sad. And the stormtroopers are like, that checks out. That checks out. It's no big deal. That checks out. Right? So, they don't make a big deal of it. Again, thought some Jedi trick would be doing something. Nope, doesn't do anything. And they're like, hey, this is our stop right here, right after they say that. They went 10 feet. They could have walked. They could have walked the 10 feet, okay? The sun didn't change. There wasn't like a 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later. They didn't show a distance or anything. They just got in, had a conversation, which was like 3 sentences long, and they're like, this is our stop. Can we get out here, Freck? Right? And they move on. And I'm like, what in the hell? Did they literally get in there to go like 5 feet? But again, I digress. Okay. They literally went maybe a football field to get out. This is our stop. We were too lazy to walk. Right? So this whole scene was to get you nervous. Is Obi-Wan going to get caught? No, he's not. Okay. So now they're driving 10 more feet. Okay. Maybe 10 more feet. They have this other conversation of, you knew my mother, didn't you? And he's like, what? He's like, are you my father? And I thought this was interesting because we have a conversation all the time about like, what would it have been if Rey was Kenobi's daughter? And then she says, are you my father? He's like, no, afraid not. I wish I was though. Okay. Right. How lazy are they? I don't know. Okay. So it's just a story. He says, no, the whole time, you've been hiding something from me. He's been hiding a lot of stuff from you, girl. Don't worry about it. Okay. He's lying to her, saying a whole bunch of stuff, not saying a whole bunch of stuff. But do you blame him? I mean, he's getting bossed around by a 10-year-old. You really don't want her to get any kind of ups on you. You know what I mean? All right. So as they do this, he's driving down, and all of a sudden, there's other outpost comes up within a cavern. Here, there it is. Okay, there's the gorge or the valley, whatever you want to call it, right? And they pull up to this. And he's like, Freck, we'll get out here. No, it's standard inspection. Blah blah blah. Freck throws him underneath the bus or the mining cart. No problem. Now there's 4 other stormtroopers there. They get there. They say, can you get out of the car? Right? A little robot appears. And Freck says, these guys are a little strange. I picked them out in the middle of nowhere. They say they're going to 12. They're farmers. Right? At the moment, then Obi Beta Kenobi decides to put the hood on and then steps out of the truck. And once he steps out of the truck, a robot comes, scans the face, and all of a sudden, they know it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then they start shooting. Now, what I thought was funny, he doesn't pull out the lightsaber. Why? They know he's a Jedi, right? It's already been established. They're looking for a Jedi. We know he's got it on his belt. He hasn't done any mind tricks on anybody. He hasn't used his lightsaber on anybody. Obi Beta Kenobi showing up, okay? So, all of a sudden, okay, he takes out the stormtroopers real fast with the gun. Bam, bam, bam. Last episode, he couldn't hit the broad side of a barn when he was shooting at one guy on a roof. And then all of a sudden now he takes out 3 stormtroopers with no problems. So apparently he ain't that rusty, okay? From not shooting anything for 10 years or doing anything for 10 years, all of a sudden he's like perfect shot, okay? So all of a sudden he does this little shot here where, put the gun down. They're threatening Leia. Are you guys nervous? Leia could have gotten killed. I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, no way. Princess Leia is going to die right now, okay, if Kenobi doesn't put that gun down. And thank God Obi-Wan put that gun down because I thought she was going to die. I did. I was like, this is it. What's going to happen to her? Okay. So, closes her eyes. She's not afraid, though. Right? She's not afraid. She's just like, whatever. Cool. Okay. Why you would hold the girl down here and not pick her up and hold her up here and then hold the gun up here, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to fill out paperwork because he harassed a girl or something. Obi-Wan Kenobi shoots the guy right above her head. Boom. Done. They get it and they run. And then they run to the gate. Now, what do you say? What do you guys see here? Let's break this down for a second. What do you guys see here? I see a gate. I see a fence post here. And I see a fence post here with a guard gate closest to us, right? And I see this incline like right here, okay? And he runs over and he's like, I can't open the gate. We can't get over the gate, right? How about you walk around it? No? No, nobody? No? How about you walk around the gate? You don't need to shut it down. That's for vehicles, you fucker. It's for vehicles, not for people. You can just walk around the gate. It's not that hard, right? For fuck's sake, okay? Then, as the gate doesn't close, he shoots it, okay? He shoots it, so that way he can get through the gate. Now, mind you, real quick, I just want to point this out again, okay? Look at this side over here. Look at this side over here, okay? This side over here is no gate. No gate. Approaching in a vehicle when you see a tower and a gate, okay? And you're like, how are we going to get through? How are we going to do it? And he didn't think it. This man was a trained Jedi master, thinking of shit so far ahead and getting out of situations his whole life. He's been a Jedi longer than he hasn't practiced the Force his entire life, right? Right now he's like 40-something. Okay? He's like 40-something, okay? Maybe late 30s, early 40s. He's been since a kid, since a youngling, he became a Jedi, practicing all this stuff. So 10 years of no practicing, he's a complete and utter doofus. Doofus, an idiot, a moron, okay? So as we continue on here, I get aggravated, guys. I get aggravated because the things like this, man, okay? He runs by, and then all of a sudden, apparently Leia and now Obi-Wan love running towards things. They're on the road, which is the dumb move, okay? And there's a vehicle coming right up at them. I think it's time to use your Jedi powers. Nope. Let's just stop. And 4 stormtroopers are coming up, and here's that look again. Look at Obi-Wan's face. He's like, oh, well. I tried my best. All right, I'll put the gun down. Obi-Beta Kenobi. Here's 3 troopers. They come up, and they get down on the ground. Look, the Imperial woman comes up behind him, and I knew this was going to happen in 3 seconds. I was like, oh, boy, okay. And then boom, 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 takes out the stormtroopers. Now, mind you, a check-in, something would have known something was off because a vehicle was checked out with multiple people in it. It came back, and nobody was in it. The guard hut was killed and whatnot. Plus, they didn't kill Freck. Freck could get up, radio someone, and it's all over. It's all over. Right? So, amazing. Only if right, Krebsy, if there was only someone that could flip a car or do a lightsaber or force push. I know someone's going to say it. Well, he's out of practice. He hasn't used anything. He doesn't want to tap into the Force because he doesn't want Vader to find him. Well, I hate to tell you. Everyone in the galaxy knows where you are already. So you might want to start using some powers. Okay. So she kills the guys, and they're like, oh. Now, remember, Obi-Wan didn't trust anybody, but now he's running away with this woman who shot 3 stormtroopers and says, oh, she must be good, so I'm going to go with her. Okay. So as that happens, now the Inquisitors are now planning a thing. He destroyed the probe. The signal came through before impact. Of course it did. Of course it did. Okay, so they know where he's at. Okay. Okay, because plot says it has to. We have to proceed there. Okay, we have presence there. He said, full battery, strip of right, and inform Lord Vader. He's already been informed. The fifth brother says, and Reva's just upset, but you can't tell because she's always upset. So you couldn't really tell that she was upset, but she's upset. Okay, upset. Okay, so then we continue on. She comes back and she says, "You want to take the credit? You go right ahead. Because both of you all know standing side by side will be me." And then she walks out being angry and tries to storm off like she's a badass, but no one really cares. Okay. So gather the battalions, shut it down, let's get there. Right? So the Inquisitors they're on there. Okay. So now I want you to also look at time of day. Okay. I want you to look at time of day. Okay. Right now, sun's about, I don't know, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock. It looks like it's lower because the mountains range is there, so it looks like it's a higher place, right? Right here we have a couple buildings. I would say there's a good size camp here. I would say maybe 20 buildings, right? Maybe behind us, coming towards us, and then behind, maybe around the corner or whatnot. Okay, so we got like 20 buildings there. It's about 2 o'clock because where the shadows are, right? We all know shadows are shadows. Doesn't matter if you're like a galaxy far, far away or not. Shadows are there. It's around 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so they're walking through, and then all of a sudden, the person that just helped them, the Imperial trooper, helps them, and they're hiding behind an alleyway. Can I ask a question? I'm going to ask a question. It's rhetorical, but if she was a plant inside the town as an officer, and she got in the vehicle with the stormtroopers to go out to the location to get Obi-Wan Kenobi, okay, why is it that she's sneaking around? Why doesn't she just walk around like she's supposed to be there? Okay, do you know what I mean? Why is she sneaking around? Another question I have that I just thought about, if she was supposed to meet him there, and then she says, I didn't expect anyone to come, he says. She's like, well, I showed up there, but then you weren't there, so then I left, and then I came back. Meaning, how much time passed where she showed up and then left from when they got picked up by Freck, right? And think about where they came from. They were up there, they walked down, the shuttle picked them up, and they started driving towards the thing. Let's just give them 15 minutes. I'll give them 20 minutes, okay? She came from the direction from the car, so they were going this way. So you're telling me she was there, then went back, and then came back this way before they got to the point. Just put it out there. Continuity. Okay? But all right. So they're hiding. She's hiding from Imperial. She's hiding from stormtroopers. Why? Not sure why. Just take your uniform off if it means absolutely nothing. Okay? So they're in the town. It says, the pilot who agreed, it got pushed ahead because of what's happening. Wait here. Okay? So then she walks over to this building. Obi-Wan watches, sees the shuttles leaving and whatnot. Okay? And goes into this factory or into this building. Talks to Princess Leia. And maybe 3 minutes pass. Okay? Then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, it's clear. Let's go. So let's just say we started at 3, and now it's 3:10. Okay? They go inside this building. Okay? They go inside this building. It's a junk, maintenance. It's a droid maintenance area. Okay? There's this big robot there. Okay? And the robot doesn't talk. He's just a loader droid. Okay? And his designation is Ned B, which I would assume is the action figure that you can buy in stores soon. Okay. Princess Leia says hello, and this is Lola. Okay, and that's what's happening. Okay, so she then sends the robot and says, "Oh, why can't he talk? Or he doesn't talk. He doesn't communicate." So the robot moves this secret area, and they walk in. Now it's daytime outside. It's 3:15, let's say 3:15. They just had a small conversation. They walk in. It's still daytime, nice and bright outside. They walk into this hidden room, which doesn't look like it's a hidden room. It's, there's a thing in front of it. The thing on the wall is like it doesn't look like a trigger. Now, I also want to point out real fast that this was pretty funny to me. So notice here how the door opens. This is a big thing I also saw. This is how the door opens. The robot grabbed this handle on the wall and then clamped it, and then it opened up the door. I want you to remember that, chat. This is homework for you. This is homework. Just keep it in your head for a little bit as we continue on. Okay, we'll put a pin in it, and then we'll come back later to that. Okay, so they walk into the room, and as they're in this room, this is a safe house. We've made these, way back when to get to house people and whatnot. And then Obi-Wan says, "Why do you do this?" And I'm like, what? Why would Obi-Wan say that? Why would he ask, why is she do this? Right? Other Jedi have come through here. They saved a whole bunch of people, right? For good, because they have a purpose. The same purpose that Obi-Wan once had, where he actually still has, where he's trying to build up Luke Skywalker. Okay? Luke Skywalker is the leader of the rebels in the future. This is what you're training for. This is what you have to stay alive for. This is why you have to keep your head down and make sure Luke doesn't get killed. Okay? Then they see the names of stuff, right? They say lots of good people risking their lives for this. And Obi-Wan says, "Why do you do this?" And I'm like, holy Christ. They literally just killed off Obi-Wan. And what Obi-Wan wants to do, they kill children. They take the children. We don't know what happens to them, he says. Right? We're not sure. They kill him. We know they kill him because, spoiler alert, we see one get his neck snapped. Okay? But no one ever sees them again. Okay? Okay? They see names. They see people. Okay, these are all cool little things. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're like, oh, cool. Other Jedi names are on the wall. Oh, my God. Right? Like, one part of me would love to have watched this with fresh eyes. Right? Because my son, if he watched episodes 1 and then Rebels and Rogue One and all this and got to this point into this series before he saw episode 4, okay, I think this is pretty cool what they're doing for this series, okay? But the problem is episodes 4, 5, and 6 exist, okay? So it doesn't matter if someone's coming to watch this for the first time. Your story and canon that you're implementing in this show are completely and utterly fucked for the stuff that you already made. Okay, and it's infuriating. It's infuriating. Okay, so the deconstruction of Obi-Beta Kenobi still continues. Okay, and as they're in here, Kenobi hears stormtroopers come in. Now, I want you to look at this, because if you look outside, it's still bright outside. Let's say it's like 3:30 now. 3:30, okay? Shadows are still coming across the same angles, okay? I know, I'm nitpicking, okay? They come in, 2 stormtroopers, they look around, they're starting to bully a droid that can't speak, okay? Because stormtroopers bad, right? And they're looking around, and Obi-Wan pulls his blaster out again, because, you know, blasters make noise. Lightsabers don't. And just to make it clear, lightsaber, if you turn it on, doesn't mean you're using the Force. It's a fucking sword. It's a light sword. Meaning if you turn it on and kill somebody, it's probably pretty quiet. But what do I know? But what do I know? Okay. He asks the droid if you see anyone. The droid doesn't answer. He says, I asked you a question. And then they show the droid like he's going to smash in this. It would have been awesome. It would have been awesome if you smashed the like Boba Fett did in Mandalorian, where he just smashes and cracks that stormtrooper's helmet. It would have been cool, but that didn't happen. So the robot just lets him pass, and they leave. Okay, and they walk out. Okay, now 5 more minutes pass. They're like, that was close, right? And they go on and continue on, and says, why do you do this? Risk everything, okay? And then this other door opens. And I want you guys to look at this. I want you to look at this hallway here. Look down that hallway, okay? What do you see down that hallway? What do you see down this hallway? You see arches, right? And then you see like a split path, right? So there's more ways, like a bigger walkways or whatever through this mountain, right? Okay. So let's continue, shall we? Put a pin in that, chat. We'll come back to that as well. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's get into that hallway. And then all of a sudden, I'm sensing something. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm trying to catch my breath. Hold on a second. Okay, Obi-Wan senses something. So then they look out. Look how dark it is outside. I don't know if Khonshu came in and rotated the fucking Earth really fast, the planet really fast, to make it day to night. I don't know what happened. Okay? But in no way, shape, or form did the sun fucking fall that fast. In no way, shape, or form did the sun fall that fast. It's dead of night. Like, we're talking like 8, 9, maybe 10 o'clock at night all of a sudden. Okay? Not like the sun's going down. Like, just straight up darkness. Okay? Right? Like, complete and utter darkness. Look at it. It is dark. There ain't nothing. The moon at this point, right now, the light where the moon is, okay? Okay? The moon is fucking at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Right? I'm like, what the fuck? Milky, you're not wrong. I was like, what in the world just happened? Okay? All right? So, now this is the cool part, right? Cut to Obi. Dun 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 dun. Cut to Vader. Dun 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 dun. Right? Now I have to admit, this part was actually pretty cool, right? Because Vader was just walking down and just toying with Obi-Wan. This entire time, he knows Obi-Wan is here. Okay? He already senses him. He starts pulling down things, pulling people through windows, kills the father, snaps the neck of us. He's like, Dad! He comes out, he goes, slams him up against the wall, and then snaps his neck. That was a child. Now, I ask you, because someone on Twitter said, well, if you're nitpicking, this is a show for children. Really? Really? Children, you say? Huh. All right. Really? That's amazing. Imagine a show for children where the villain snaps a kid's neck. Man, I can't wait. Right? Pulls this guy out, snaps that person, drags this other person. He's just like toying with, like trying to bring him out. Now, Obi-Wan, the Obi-Wan before the deconstructed Obi-Wan, before Obi-Beta Kenobi, introduced by Disney Plus here, Obi-Wan, for 35 years, 31 years, is a dedicated Jedi Master who would risk his life to save anybody, put his life at risk, to do anything it takes to beat the Empire. Okay? Or the bad guys, the separatists, whatever. And now he sees people getting killed. He sees the kid get killed. And he looks out that window like a bitch and does not face Vader. Now, first of all, I'm torn here because I'm like, Obi-Wan, your ass needs to get out there and you need to protect the people because you're a Jedi Master. And it doesn't really matter if you fucking care or not, if they find out where you are to use your Force abilities. Okay? Because he already knows where the fuck you are. Okay? But now I'm torn because Obi-Wan and Darth Vader shouldn't be seeing each other. They shouldn't be seeing each other. They shouldn't be seeing each other. Okay? Torn. I'm like, get your ass out there. No, don't do that because you guys are not supposed to see each other. So for a little moment, I was like, all right, maybe they're not going to see each other. Maybe they're just teasing to try to make sure, right? Right. Drags that person 20 feet and then kills them. Yeah. Right. Walks by, kills all these people. He watches all this happening. And then Obi-Beta Kenobi, deconstruct who Obi-Wan Kenobi is once again. Not only did he abandon Luke Skywalker on Tatooine to go help Princess Leia, but then he abandons Princess Leia with a complete stranger he just met 10 minutes ago to make them walk down a corridor to get her to the ship. Okay? What are we fucking talking about? Okay? So, take care of her. Make sure she gets on the ship. Okay. Okay, great. He stands and it's like watching a car wreck. He's like, I wonder if he'll kill anybody else. And he looks out the window again. Drags that person 15 feet. And then all of a sudden, I was a little confused by this as well. Now, I'm not saying they didn't show us there was two entrances to this place. Okay? But how did Obi-Wan get out? How did he get out of the droid maintenance facility? That's the door of the droid maintenance facility. Okay? And all of a sudden, he comes walking out of the side of a solid building. Let me pause for a second. Okay? Just so I can show you, okay, that it was established. Okay? That it was established. Let me rewind just a little bit here. Let me rewind just a little bit. Let me go back to where I wanted to go. Okay, before the sun went down and they first got to the actual location where they were. I know this is going to take a little bit. We're going to get back there. Stick with me, chat. Okay, stick with me because we saw what the man, was it that far back? All right, hold on. We're almost there. We're almost there. Do we have the establishing shot here? Okay, I think we got the establishing shot. Let me get the establishing shot. Okay. The establishing shot is right here. Mind you, I don't want to go into this. There's more buildings on the other side now when Vader was walking down, but regardless, we won't bring that up. Okay. But this is the droid maintenance building, like right here. Like this one right here. Okay. This is the alleyway that they walk down. Okay. Just to keep it clear. Okay. Let me go back to Obi-Wan now. Okay. So Obi-Wan all of a sudden is looking around. Okay. Now we can see This is that first building. Now, continuity. This is the alleyway right here that Obi-Wan and them were there in the daytime before they walked into the droid maintenance building. Okay. So then as they walk by further down, there was one more building off to the side. Okay. There was one more building off to the side. And then there was another building. And they just make buildings up here. Okay. At this point, Obi-Wan is out of the droid maintenance facility. Don't know how he got there. Maybe he used the Force. Maybe he teleported. Maybe he's got a new teleportation that's not part of the Force. Maybe it's just something he learned in his sleep in the 10 years. Okay. Then they show Reva and them, and she's about to go engage. And the fifth brother at this point is not even a character. He's just there to belittle Reva. Like anytime she moves or does anything, he's like, "Don't do that. Stop that. You're not in this. Don't do that. Stay here." That's the only thing he does. He doesn't do anything else. Okay. So Reva walks off, and then all of a sudden, Obi-Wan runs. He runs the first time away. And Darth Vader follows him. Okay. At this point, Darth Vader, so Obi-Wan came from behind where he is, walking this direction. Darth Vader, who's way, way behind him, is now standing in front of him. The Force. Let's just say he's using the dark magic. Okay. So he's there. He teleported in front of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay. This, I laughed hysterically. This is the face of Obi-Beta Kenobi. Obi-Beta Kenobi. Although, you know what I just realized? I think I could cosplay as Obi-Wan. Just get a nice little wig going on here. I could cosplay as Obi-Beta Kenobi. I think I might do that this Halloween. Obi-Beta Kenobi. Here we come. All right. So this right here, he looks at him, and Vader looks badass, right? He looks badass. Okay, let me get to the spot. He looks at him. He gets his lightsaber out. He's ready. He's like, "All right, let's go down." And I'm like, "Nope, don't do it, don't do it." I was like, "Don't do it, don't do it." Okay, and then he's about to turn it on. He's about to turn it on. He looks to his right, and then he runs. He runs like a little bitch. He's trying to juke him. He went like this. He went, "I'm out." And then he fucking ran. Now we're watching a horror flick. Okay? Now we're watching a horror flick. I'm watching Star Wars at this point shatter and crumble around me. And I know you guys think I'm overreacting here. Okay? All of my childhood, all the characters I love, all the Clone Wars that build up for 8 years afterwards, showing who Obi-Wan Kenobi is after the prequels, all of the stuff that Obi-Wan from the books and everything, okay? All of it's just fucking like a house of cards. It's just coming down around me as I'm looking at this scene. Runs like a bitch. Okay? Runs like a bitch. Right? And he doesn't even run fast. He just kind of like trots off. And Obi-Wan, and Darth Vader's like, "Bro, are you seriously running?" Okay? So then, as he goes around, okay, he comes around the corner. Now, mind you, he ran. I know it's a little dark for you guys. He ran, and then, so I'm Vader, right? Obi-Wan's over here. He runs this way, and then he comes out, okay? So now the camera's on the opposite side. So now in this picture, Darth Vader's on the other side of that pile, about 30 yards on the other side of that thing. Okay? Okay. We're all with me? He looks behind him, because that's where he would be, and he's going around. And then all of a sudden, he hears a voice, and he pulls out his lightsaber, and he's going around looking for him. He doesn't know where he's at. He's looking, twisting, and turning. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's right there. Okay? Right in front of him again. Okay? Right in front of him again. Okay? Wasn't behind him. He's now in front of him. He comes out from the other side where the town was. Okay? Okay? So, he runs like a bitch, and then as he's about to face him again, he's like, "All right, you want to go?" He's like, "Let's go." "You want to go?" Look at him. He's like, "You want to go?" "All right, I was just messing with you. I wasn't going to run. I was going to do it. I was just messing with you. I'm not going to run." Okay? And then he sits there and waits. He says, "What have you become?" He says, I am what you made me. Basically, it just happened to be Batman and the Joker. That's basically what this is now, right? Okay. At this point, this is the line that should have said, the last time we've met, I was but a learner. Now, I am the master. That's what should have happened right here, okay? That's what it should have happened right here, okay? And then he runs again. Now, I know you can't see. It's super dark, okay? But believe me, he ran. He ran again, okay? One, why they made it so fucking dark. And at this time, Anakin's like, fucking ran again? Okay? So now they're going back to the town, and they're taking all the people in the town, even though they're not there for anybody but the Jedi, which is just Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're not even there for Princess Leia. They're only there, right, for Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're taking everyone from the town, and they're all gathering them up because reasons, right? They had to use the extras for something. Reva, at this point, sees the droid come out of the house, and all of a sudden says, I'm going to go in that. I'm going to go in that. That looks suspicious. That droid walking out of the droid maintenance building looks suspicious. I got to check it out. Okay. So she checks it out. Okay. She walks over and she's like, let me go check it out. Okay. And she goes over there. By this time, minutes have passed, and I thought it was going to be daytime again because only 10 minutes passed. So I didn't know how the day-night cycles worked on this planet. Okay. And she uses... the only time she uses her force ability in this is to move the door open, which she could have just walked up to the door, okay? But she uses the... it would have been nice if she cut it open with her lightsaber, but whatever, okay? And she opens it with the saber, and then she goes in, okay? Then it cuts to the hallway scene of going down this trench of Leia, and I don't even know the character's name, okay? But I care about this character more than I care about, Reva at this point. Reva's looking around. It's like droid maintenance. She's like, oh, it's all droid parts. That's weird. All these droid parts here. Droid parts in a droid maintenance shop. This just looks off. All right? And then she looks and goes, this is so strange. Just all of this stuff is in here. Wait a minute. That looks out of place. I've never been in this place before, but that looks out of place. Okay? So then she looks at the coat rack or whatever, and then debates if that's what it is. Obi-Wan is running away, and now at this point, he ran. Darth Vader's way slow behind him. Okay? Way, way slow behind him. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Darth Vader is right behind him. It's like fucking Jason. Like, he's ready. He's about to kill him, right? Could have killed him. Could have snapped his neck right there. Nope. Teleported right behind him. Now he's fighting. This is the only thing I actually liked, even though I hated this at the exact same time. They're not supposed to be fighting. But the actual fighting style of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, I was like, all right, cool. This is interesting. Okay. But they're fighting, and obviously, and this is no doubt, okay, Anakin at this time is in his prime. Okay. Darth Vader at this time he's fucking strong. He is a powerhouse. This is why this should never have happened. This is why Obi-Wan should not be fighting him, because it ruins what happened that we saw him. Because during the 18 years that he didn't see Vader was just killing and murdering people left and right. Right? He didn't give a shit. Like what you saw him do in that town as he was walking by, snapping kids' necks and old men and women, he doesn't care. That's how he is. People that knew that he was Anakin Skywalker, they were dead. Reva should be dead right now. Okay? Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, they're fighting. Okay? They're fighting. They're having this scene, and I'm loving this and hating this all at the same time. Again, if I was brand new, okay? If I was brand new to this and I saw this, I'd be like, oh man, this is so good. This is so good. But I can't put 40 years of Star Wars knowledge behind because this looks cool. Okay? So he just looks completely out of his rank, right? He's fighting, he's blocking, he doesn't know what to do, okay? Which makes sense. But Obi-Wan could do a little bit more, okay? So they cut back to Leia, Princess Leia, and as they're walking down the thing, all of a sudden, they stop, okay? They look back the tunnel where she just came from, and she says, you need to go back for Obi-Wan, right? And this is the second time that the Inquisitor uses her force power to move a coat rack out of the way. Okay, she opened the door, and then she moved a coat rack. Very powerful stuff. Okay, so she moves that out of the way, and as she's looking, she's like, she just knows to go to this emblem, this thing on the wall. She just knows. She's like, I've never seen this before. I'm gonna do it. How to open this? And she just knows. Okay, she just knows. Just knows. Okay, she is the best ever. So go back to the hallway. They're in the hallway scene. Okay, Princess and the stranger are talking. She's like, you need to go save him. You go. She hugs the complete stranger, and this girl, who Obi-Wan just said, make sure she gets to the ship. 10 minutes later, abandons Princess Leia, okay, and fucks it up. Lets her go. What the fuck? I don't even know anymore, guys. I don't understand, right? And she's on her own. She's running down the hall, okay? Obi-Wan and Vader are fighting, okay? The fight scene's actually pretty good if they weren't supposed to meet. We go back to Reva. She's now in the back room. The hidden room that's not really a secret anymore, okay? The secret room that nobody ever found out, but now she knows. And she looks and sees all the names, and she sees the Jedi logo on the wall, right? And then she touches it, and that's supposed to make you, the viewer, go, oh, she's good. She's good. She was going to turn to the good side, to the light side, okay? She will betray the Empire and the Inquisitors by the end of the show. That's what that's supposed to be. This right here. Let me show you. This part right here is to show you that she's turning good. That's it. Right? This is it. She's going to turn good because she sees the logo. Okay? Okay, she knows everything. Everything, D-Money. Everything. Okay? Then she gets mad and tosses over something. I'm surprised she didn't use her force power. Okay? Now, Princess is running. She's running down this corridor. And Reva just pushes the button. She's like, oh, I'm going to push this button because there has to be another door. There has to be another door, right? I'm just going to push this button right here. It looks like it's supposed to do something, right? And she does. She pushes it, okay? And I'm like, amazing. Amazing. And then she sees a corridor. She sees the corridor, and she looks down it, and she's like, well, I'm going to go find somebody. Someone's down here. Yeah. Right? Maybe Obi-Wan's down here. Right? And she knows at this point, she's like, that's right. I knew it. I knew if I went into this thing, I would find a secret door and then a secret door behind a secret door for a secret tunnel. I knew it. Okay. So now Obi-Wan doing some more running. Lots of running for Obi-Wan. Obi-Beta Kenobi. Okay. He's running. And now Darth Vader comes over, and this kind of made me laugh. Now, Obi-Wan lightsaber starts to like flicker a bit, and then he starts to choke. Now, he's just toying with him. At this point, Vader's just toying with him. He could snap his neck and be done with this in 2 seconds. But obviously, he wants to do what he did to him, right? An eye for an eye, basically. Okay, so he picks him up. He's force choking him. Okay. And all of a sudden, I don't know if this is how this works, though. I mean, I'll let it slide because the fuck do I know, right? So he knocks his lightsaber out of his hand. He's just holding him there. He's squeezing his hand. And then all of a sudden, he takes his lightsaber, okay, which I guess makes sense because it's a laser, okay? And he lights the shit on fire that's on the ground, okay? Which is fine. I'll allow it, okay? Lights it up. And then he takes Obi-Wan and he starts to drag him into the fire. Okay? But I don't know if you guys knew this. In the 10 years that Obi-Wan Kenobi was on Tatooine, he was building up an immunity. He was building up an immunity. Okay. Okay. He's building up an immunity from the sun of Tatooine. And this is why he doesn't get burned. Okay? This is why he didn't get burned. This is my own headcanon I made. I was like, the dude's in fire. The dude's in fire and he's not getting burned. I was like, maybe he built up an immune system, right? Being on the desert planet, maybe the heat didn't hurt. Maybe he's like, this fire's hot, but it's not as hot as Tatooine. So I'm good, right? Maybe that's what it was. Okay? I mean, he's in that bitch, right? He's cooking at a slow, like 700 degrees right now, okay? His robe's not catching on fire. Nothing. Nothing's happening to him, okay? And then Darth Vader's just dragging his ass in, and Obi-Wan's hair's not on fire. I mean, look at it. I mean, he's in that fire. He's in that fire. The dude is on fire, but he's not on fire, okay? Obi-Beta Kenobi getting dragged through that shit, okay? And I was just like, what in the world is happening right now, okay? Then he just leaves him there, slow cook, okay? Okay? Right? He just lets him cook, slow cook in there for a little bit, right? He's screaming. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she comes onto the mountain. Now, I'm a little confused by this, right? I'm a little confused by this because, one, how does she know where Obi-Wan was? Two, how did she get past Reva down the hallway they just came from? Now, we do know there's other ways, right? But we'll get back to that, right? It seems like everybody can find Obi-Wan Kenobi, okay, instantaneously. The guy in Tatooine that approached him in episode 1, out of nowhere, Obi-Wan, what are you doing? Found him in the middle of the desert, found him, okay? Reva found him out of a needle in a haystack, just found him. Darth Vader found him. This girl can find him. Everyone's being found. Everyone can find Obi-Wan. He's doing a terrible job at keeping low profile. Hell of a job. Hell of a job. Okay? Now, here comes the stormtroopers, and here's Darth Vader. He's just letting him burn. He keeps screaming, and all of a sudden, they get extinguished out. Now, did Obi-Wan put the fire out, or did Darth Vader put the fire out? But being in the fire that long, all he got was a couple of burn marks on his cloak and whatnot, which we can't say that he didn't have those marks because we never saw him without his cloak on in episode 4, right? So we don't know if he still got those burn marks. It would have been interesting, though, because of this, that in episode 4, when he talks about Darth Vader, and if he says, "Did you know my father?" It would have been a nice touch if he grabbed his arm and was like, "Anakin Skywalker, I haven't heard that name in a long time," right? Right? Or "I fought with your father in the Clone Wars," right? And like grabbed his arm as the memory of Darth Vader, right? Something. But obviously, they didn't know this was going to happen. The writers here knew what happened there. The people back in 1976, 77, when they were making the film, didn't know that this abomination was going to happen. Okay? But, okay, so all the stormtroopers are around him. Bring him to me. All of a sudden, the girl takes a shot. She's got a pistol, takes a shot, snipes him. Everybody turns towards. There's a mountain to your I think it would be to their right. And yet they can't find her. They're like, where is that happening? Where? Right? They don't know where the shots came from. They're all looking around like, it's a laser. Came from the top part. Where did that come from? They're stormtroopers. They're fucking dumb. Okay? Darth Vader's looking around. Right? And then she takes another shot, and it blows up, and then it ignites the fire yet again. Now, the fire's only like 10 feet, 20 feet long. Now, we do know that when he was force choking him, that his force power works pretty far away, right? But for some reason, Darth Vader's like, bring him to me, but then doesn't. He looks at the robot and sees the robot grab Obi-Wan and does nothing. doesn't extinguish the fire, doesn't grab the robot and pull him away, doesn't throw the robot with his force powers, doesn't grab Obi-Wan to hold him back, doesn't do anything. He just sits there and watches Obi-Wan on the other side do absolutely nothing. He just sits there and says, well, all this way to get Obi-Wan Kenobi, I have him in front of me. This fire, though, I just can't get to him. Okay? They shoot through. They can't see. They're stormtroopers. They can't shoot straight anyway. And then Darth Vader just stands there and does nothing. Okay? They can't walk around the fire, by the way, either. No one knows how to walk around things in this universe. They all have to walk straight. Now, the robot drags Obi-Wan, okay? Drags Obi-Wan away. Darth Vader doesn't even look at him. And then he walks away. He just turns around and says, fuck it, I can't get him now. I can't get him now. I just want to show you real fast how big this fire was, okay? The fire that happened, okay, is look at this. Hold on, just like the guard gate, the fire's maybe 20 feet, 30 feet down. Like, you could literally just walk around the fire behind where the starting point was and just walk around. Look at where he is. That's maybe 30 feet. Maybe 30 feet. Okay? Nope. Don't know where he is. Can't get him. He got away. Curses. Okay? We'll see him in episode 4. Or maybe we'll see him in episodes 5, 6, whatever. Okay? I meant episode 4 of New Hope, not episode 4 next week. But who knows? Right? Then it goes back to town. And then it says, wait, what's happening? Okay? And they come over to the fifth brother and he says, they lost him. He had help. We're to sweep the planet. He's 30 feet away. He's 30 feet away from you. You don't need to sweep the planet. You just need to take the 6 stormtroopers that you had and just make them walk around the fire to stop the robot. You don't have to sweep the planet. And you find them so easily. I don't really think you have to sweep the planet. But I digress again. Okay? I digress again. He got away. And then the fifth brother says, now we'll never find him. I laughed out loud. I was like, get out of here. What are you talking about? Okay. They vanished so far away. They're like over the hill where they picked up Obi-Wan. Okay. Guys, I'm so upset about this. Okay. What a mockery. What a disrespect of the character, Obi-Beta Kenobi. And everyone's going to look at this and go, what a great episode. So awesome that Obi-Wan fought Darth Vader. Darth Vader is such a badass. It's so good. This is just amazing stuff. Now, Princess is running. She's running this whole entire time that the fight's going on. A good 20, 30 minutes, she's running down this hallway. Okay? She's just running. She turns the corner, and boom. Who happens to be there? But Reva. How does Reva know that she's going to come right there? How did she teleport in front of her? How did she do it? How did she do it, chat? It's amazing. It's amazing. Don't be afraid. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it, but I'll take you from here. Right? And the guy is dead on the ground. Okay? What a shitty ending. What a shitty ending. That's an hour and a half discussion on this stuff. Okay? What a terrible, terrible episode. As a newcomer, if I watch this episode, I'll be like, it's a pretty good episode. A lot of action, right? Decent acting. But nothing happened. Nothing happened. You know why nothing happened? Because at the end of the day, we know where Princess ends up. Princess Leia ends up in a cell in episode 4, and Ben Kenobi, okay, and the rest of them would save her in the Death Star. We know that Obi-Wan Kenobi dies in the Death Star fighting Darth Vader. Okay? We know that Darth Vader dies because he throws the Emperor down the thing and Luke saves him. Okay? We know all of these things. So there's no fucking tension, no emotion whatsoever. The only emotion you're getting out of me is anger. Okay? There's no emotion. Okay? Because everything that happens in the episode, it doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. And it really doesn't matter because they completely deconstructed the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi is Obi Beta Kenobi. It's so frustrating how and someone can look at this and go, "Oh, I really like how they really deconstructed. He's been struggling this whole time because it was his brother and he chopped off his arms and he really wanted to. He felt bad for him and whatnot. But he put himself above that by taking the kid and staying with him on Tatooine for 18 years of his life until he was ready to be trained. Okay? Nothing was established here in any way, shape, or form. Okay? We still don't know why she hates Obi-Wan Kenobi. We still don't understand why she wants to be Vader's second in command when there's other Inquisitors in front of her, right? Okay? It's so ridiculous. Let me read some of you guys were saying. Vader forces batteries ran out of on Maybe Obi-Wan had the high ground and Vader finally learns his lesson. You make it sound like Ben Affleck as Batman laying down in the grass with the sign saying, I tried. Forced teleportation. Yeah, same way Obi got out of the building. Yep. Didn't you say the tunnels earlier had multiple paths? I didn't pay attention to the part during the episode. Yeah, no, there was multiple paths, right? One went this way and one went this way. All right. So let's just say that first, Princess went left or right. I'm sorry. Okay, because the way the thing was turning, I would assume she went right. There was also a left. They had a good 10-minute head start, okay, before she found the secret passage behind the secret passage, okay? And she's running the entire time. Now remember, the 10-year-old couldn't get caught in episodes 1 and 2, okay? She couldn't get caught. She outran adults for the entire time. Jedis, non-Jedis, doesn't matter. She was just running, okay? And yet, Reva looked down and was like, yeah, that's where she is. Now, let's just say there are two paths, which there were, and they go separate directions. How did Reva get past the person, okay, to get in front of her? How did the person that ran back towards Reva get out of the tunnel without being seen by Reva if she went down the same path as her? How? Okay. Yes, let the hate flow through you. Yes, Boxer. I'm so frustrated. Okay. ROTS, Obi-Wan had hope when today mentions the training and his old master. He should be hopeful. Yes. Okay. But she got caught in the trees. Right. I'm just baffled. Okay. I'm just baffled by the writers of this are terrible. The writers of this are terrible. I have to know. I haven't looked up the writers yet. The writers are so bad. It's so bad. It's so frustrating. Hold on. I'm going to look. Okay, Joby Harrell. We have Hassan Ahmed. We have Stuart Betty, Hani Fryman, and Andrew Staten. Okay, so let's look at what we got here. His credits. One of the guy's credits is he's got 6 writing credits. Oh, God damn it. One of the writers is actually doing the next Transformers and the Flash movie. I think I'll skip those two. This other guy has 17 credits. Okay. Let's see if he's done anything. Nothing really massive, but he's got 17 credits. Another guy has 32 credits. That's pretty good. Okay. Oh, God. He did the spec script for Halo and the early script for Gears of War. Okay. All right. And he also did the worst Pirates of the Caribbean film. Awesome. Oh, and he did G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, which is also a shitty movie. Let me see what else he did. Oh, he did the other pirate movies as well. So good for him. He's got some good credits. Okay. And then the other guy, woman, sorry. The other person, oh God, she wrote Willow. Okay. That's gonna be interesting. Okay. So, and she's only got 11 credits. Most of them are shorts. And then Andrew here. Andrew, oh God, he did Lightyear, the new movie for Toy Story, or the Toy Story character. He did that. He did a lot of Pixar stuff. So lots of hope here, guys. Lots of hope. So overall, as I said during this rant, review, breakdown, if I was a brand new Star Wars person, which my son is, and I feel for him because he can see it in a clear light, where if you watch Star Wars from episode 1, episode to 2, watch the Clone Wars, go to episode 3, watch Rebels, watch Rebels, watch all the stuff, then go to episode 4, 5, and 6. When you get to episode 4, you'll be like, that doesn't make sense. But you'll enjoy all the stuff up until that point. And then once you get to episode 4, you'll be like, what the fuck moment. Disney has now deconstructed and shit on Han Solo. They've deconstructed Luke Skywalker. They've deconstructed, Obi-Wan Kenobi. They've deconstructed Anakin's character. They've tossed everything out the fucking window. It doesn't matter. They ruined Princess Leia. They ruined Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and now they've ruined Obi-Wan Kenobi. They've completely ruined all the legacy characters in every way, shape, or form. They broke them down to minuscule of what they were. They deconstructed them, and they're just betas of everything. Okay? It makes absolutely no sense why to do this, except for that they don't give a shit about the actual fans. If you actually cared and made a story about fans, it's not that hard to write a story for the fans that like your stuff. It's not that hard to do what you're doing and also connect it so it fits within the narrative of what the stories that came before it. This is a fucking prequel, okay? It's a sequel to the prequels, and it's a prequel to the originals. And they completely and utterly screwed the entire thing, okay? There's more they'll screw up in episodes 4, 5, and 6. We're halfway through, and they've completely shit on everything. These are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. I do appreciate. We're not over yet. We're gonna have a call-in section, but this is at the end part of the recording section of this. I do appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.